Yes, sir.
Hey Mark, hey, what's going on, man? I'm that young dude from the rack you from Chicago you had talked to about maybe like 2, 3 months ago about the moving. You remember me?
I think so. I talked to a few people from the crib. I ran
You,
into you
I had
in the
gave
street, or you came on the show.
you had told me to do that sales pitch. You had kind of flamed me on it. You remember that?
Oh yeah. I think I remember it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I had started and it's been about 2 months now doing the moving and I feel like it's going okay. I feel like it's going pretty good. I was wondering, if you could check out my Thumbtack and maybe give me a few pointers or whatever. I got some pictures of my work up there and you know something like that.
What's your name?
It's Sherbach, Shirbak, Moving Co.
You on U-Haul too?
Yeah, I am, but I ain't got no hits off you all.
Now it ain't gonna come up if you got you got you got money in there, right? You
On what
active
you
on
all?
no on Thumbtack.
Oh yeah, I'm active.
All right, give me a second. Oh, Sherbach, Sherbach.
It's popping up.
It popped up, but it's taking me to. I gotta go on the customer side. I'm on the Hold on. Thumbtack. Let me look like I'm searching for a mover. Hold on 1 second. I logged in from my account.
Nah, I got you.
Sherbach.
Yes,
What
sir.
what zip codes you running it out of? Let me just try to search it
Six
up.
zero eight zero five.
That's Shirbak.
Mm-hmm. I already know you're gonna flame me on one thing, man. I was using the green movers wrap. I got the clear stuff now though.
Are you using that Home Depot stuff?
Nah, I got the good stuff now. That was just
But
you feel me.
but
I
you
had to get
was
my
because
feet wet.
dude has told people to go to Home Depot. I'm like, bro, what are you talking? All right, so what you
Cool.
do? Studios, one bedrooms. What else? Not
I
you.
do I do up to 2 bedrooms right now
Let's see some
on the regular. If it's a 3 bedroom and I feel comfortable enough, I'll take it.
Sherbach, Sherbach. All right, why is it making me do all this shit? I want a mover. I want a mover. Mover. Local movement. Let's say a 1 bedroom. I tried to Google you, it didn't come up. Let's say ready in 7 days. This dude's still on here? Damn. Galindo. That dude been on here for years. He was on there when I first got on Thumbtack back in the day. All right, here we go. I found you. I'm gonna pull you up. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's me.
This you?
Yes, sir.
Uh, mm, Hold on 1 second. Let me clear this. At Sherbak Moving Company, we pride ourselves on providing top quality service at affordable rates. Our team is dedicated to handling your belongings with care and attention to detail, ensuring a smooth and stress-free move. What sets us apart is our commitment to customer satisfaction. We treat your move as if it were our own. Choose Sherbach Moving Company for reliable, efficient, and professional service you can trust. Let's see. Hmm. It's a storage unit.
Yeah, we had took some items from a two-bedroom and loaded it into the storage unit for a lady.
You're not
That
using this
was
green.
not.
You're not using this green stuff no
Oh,
more.
look, I can show you. I don't even got that no more. I got it's from the wrap from your video.
Okay. All right. All right.
4 rolls of it.
All
I
right.
had to see how business was going before I invested though. So,
Nah. That ain't no excuse, big dog. We ain't trying to hear that.
all right, man, all right.
Cause you spent 20 some dollars on this. This
Right,
bullshit.
but it's right
It's
there at the
bullshit.
U-Haul.
It's
It seemed
bullshit.
good. I
Listen,
see,
look.
I see
It's
now.
bullshit. You see how thin and how easy this shit tear versus the shit
Yeah,
that I told you to get, the 80
yeah,
gauge.
yeah.
All right then. All right then. I don't like this. I don't like this pack job. I don't like that, dog. I don't like this pack job. One of your boxes should be in the back. You should build a wall. You shouldn't have boxes back here, boxes back there. All your boxes should build a wall, top to bottom.
I got you.
Build that wall. Was this the whole truck or no? Or was it more
This
stuff
was
that need to go in?
this was just the we didn't actually do the packing on this one. This was moving only. So the
Y'all loaded
owner,
the truck,
well,
right? Y'all loaded it,
yeah,
right?
we brought it. Dude had wanted to pack it. He had wanted to put it in the stuff. He had a certain way he wanted to do it. So we was just bringing the stuff to the truck.
So the customer packed this because this is a horrible pack job.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
he got the bungee cords and all that. He put the TV by the thing. I just took a picture of the junk done job.
All right. Well, you might want to take that picture down because
I got you.
a person that knows how to pack a truck, they're gonna look at this because this is some definitely going to shift in transport. Look at the bikes. From a professional standpoint, this ottoman ain't even wrapped.
I got you.
What am I looking at right here?
It's just a photo of my guy and my partner working. We got some action photos. Just something I took.
This is loading.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the job.
This is a U-Haul job, or this is a thumbtack. I mean, a thumbtack or something else you booked.
That was a thumbtack.
What type of? You got your own truck, or what are you doing?
We do labor only, and then we do moving and truck. If I do moving and truck, I just get a U-Haul.
You might want to get some other invest in some more equipment. The U-Haul equipment is fine, but like if you get a regular hand truck dolly, you'll be able to carry at least two of these large. This is a no, this is an extra large, I believe. I can't. Yeah, it's an extra large U-Haul box. You'll be at least able to carry two of those. So
Oh no, I
those
get
you
yeah, definitely. We stack them up. That was towards the end of the job. That was a heavy box. It was only one left. But like that was saying, that was the bungee cords he or the not the bungee cords, the straps he wanted to use. So we just let him pack it.
this is a different pack job, but this is the one you was talking about before.
Same. That's the same one, just from a different angle.
This is a different job right here, right?
Yeah,
I can't really see nothing because you in the way, but yeah, you gotta take some better pictures, bro.
I got you.
Uh, what am I looking at here?
This was a one bedroom move or a studio, I believe.
Is
We were
this
working on
is this
loading it up.
is this the whole truck?
Nah, it was. You see the other picture? That was probably a later. This was earlier. This was probably a later
All right.
progression because we ended
So
up putting that
so
bike on the ground.
so you see these boxes over here in the corner? All these
Yeah,
boxes should be in this attic. These little boxes, you missing? See all this open space up here in this attic?
I got you.
All these little boxes should be in this attic right here. From the floor of the attic to the ceiling of the attic. You wasting too much floor space. First of all, you got all the boxes on one side. You should build a wall.
In the
All your
back.
boxes going first, and you start with your boxes first, and you build a wall. This truck got an attic, so all your little boxes should go in that attic. All your little boxes, your boxes that are, like say you go to some customers' houses, they go like to home, like say to U-Haul, or they go to Home Depot, and they get all the boxes. They buy all their boxes, and they got 50 small boxes, 50 medium, 50 large. It's easier to pack with that because you can do it by the shapes, right? But in a situation like this where they recycling boxes, you have to be more strategic. But either way, the box is going first and you build a wall. You missing all this space right here in the attic.
Right.
All these little shoe boxes and shit like that go in the attic. All your little fillers like pillows and
Bags.
vacuum sealed bags, all that shit. These garbage bags, this could be in the attic. You take a garbage bag should not be taking up floor space when you got an attic right there. This taking up too much floor space because now what comes when you get to the back of the truck because you mispacked the truck. Now you got all this heavy shit and you use all the floor space with shit that could be up in the air. This shit can sit on top of shit. This what you got over here was that an ottoman or a tall chest or something? Like shit like this can go on top of that. But this attic, now you ain't even got access to the attic no more. You didn't even use it.
Yeah, we had put the bed siding and stuff. We had put
See,
just the long
when,
stuff
when
up there. But
listen,
I get what you're
listen.
saying.
Once you come in and you build your wall, boom, you build your wall of boxes. Boom, you build your wall of boxes. Once you
Right.
build that wall, you know what you come with next? You come with your mattress and your box spring. Boom. Because now you got a wall. Then you come with your mattress. See how you got this mattress right here?
So when you put your mattress and box spring in, are you putting it long ways or you sliding it like
You see how
against the
this
box?
mattress, you see how this mattress is? If you would have built your wall, you would have put that mattress in flat up against that wall of
Up
boxes.
against the boxes. I got you. Okay.
You know why?
That
You
saves
know
space.
why? You know why? Because not only that, but once you put that mattress in, then you strap that in. That mattress, because it's like a king, is gonna hold all those boxes in, and the shit that's in the attic is gonna prevent that shit from coming forward.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta like you. It's a science to packing a truck. But you know how many you'll see people that don't know how to pack a truck have to make two trips. Really, it was only a one trip job. It's just they didn't know how to pack the truck right. So now they ain't got to the end of the truck talking about they running out of room. But then when a guy that knows how to pack the truck, they gonna come looking like, damn, boy, it's a lot of space in here. And they looking at the floor like ain't nothing else. Boy, all this air, all this space, that's space. All this shit back here is space to put.
I got you.
All this shit on the floor should be in the attic.
All the boxes and
I'm not
bags.
I'm not
So
never finna set no shoebox on the floor. Oh, that's attic shit, bro. All these bags, all this shit should be in the back. It should be a wall. Them bags you could have stuffed in the attic, built a wall of boxes for the ceiling. Boom, come with that king size mattress up against that. Why? This truck is half of the floor is gone in the truck already, and you ain't got shit on the truck.
right. No, I guess I haven't ran into any problems yet because we ain't doing no too big of like obviously people have a lot of stuff in two bedrooms, but I see what you're saying as you get like three bedrooms and more, it can turn
Bro,
into a
listen,
problem.
no, you can get a one bedroom and it could turn into a problem. You can get a
Yeah.
two bedroom into listen, I could pack a two bedroom in a 16 footer. If you know how to
I use
pack, you just know how to pack. So
use all your space and use it effectively. That's what I get what you're saying. That was just some more action photos. That was actually from a guy we had moved downtown to a storage unit. That was a hard move though, because his place wasn't in the best of living conditions.
You gotta get some better pictures, big dog. Can't really see. Same
I
shit,
got
same situation here. See these bags and all this stuff, and these totes and stuff. This shit should these totes should come out first with the boxes. Boxes, totes, first. Build your wall. Like I shouldn't see this type of shit at the back of the truck. I don't know what this is, big dog. What is
that was
this?
a
What am I
junk.
looking
That
at?
was a junk removal. That was a junk removal. It should have captions under all the photos. I put
Oh
captions under
yeah.
all of
Oh
them.
yeah. I see it. Yeah, I see it.
But nah, I gotta use my space better. I see that for sure, and I definitely know I ain't the best at packing yet, so gotta get better
This
at it.
this this downtown somewhere, right? Right here.
Yeah, this was we had moved it. That was a storage unit up north, I believe. If I correct.
Where your blanket at?
That job, it was. Let me explain to you this job. We ain't rap. We ain't had time to wrap none of this stuff. This dude needed to be out the next day, and we got to his place at 5 p.m. I was a last minute call because his early movers had canceled. He was downtown. Then when we got to his place, it was bugs, dirty, everything. He ain't even had no packing. He didn't tell me he needed packing. So I ended up, instead of leaving him in the dust, I just, charged him for the packing, charged him for all that.
When you
I
say
got it done
bugs,
for him.
wait, slow down, big dog. You moving too fast. When you say bugs, what are we talking? What type of bugs?
We're talking
Don't say
roaches,
bed bug. Roaches.
roaches, probably bed bug.
What you mean?
He was
Wait,
in.
hold on. What you mean? Probably, bro.
Nah, ain't no probably. It was. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm telling you.
So why you do it?
Yeah, bro, we was already there.
Nah,
Plus, we
nah,
taxed
bro.
them.
Listen. So wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the presses. Hold the horses. What you mean we was already there? Listen.
So
Let me
look,
explain.
this was a thumbtack.
Stop. No, I don't care if it was a whatever. If I come to your house to move you and I see anything, a bug, especially a bed bug, I'm going to excuse myself. I don't give a hell if I was there or not. I could have drove 2 hours there. I'm not doing that shit, bro. You've heard
But
me say this shit. Listen, let me tell you
I made
something.
two bands
How,
off them.
I don't. You know how much it costs to get rid of bed bugs?
Nah, I ain't never dealt with them.
All right, well, deal with them, and then it's gonna be more than 2 bands. You know why? Because first thing you have to throw out everything.
Right.
Then they're gonna have to come heat the whole place up, and it still might not get rid of them. You want a U-Haul truck? Get your own truck. Now they own the truck. So now every single customer, if you don't catch it right away, you just infested every single customer until you catch it. Now they on your ass. And you
Yeah.
got to get them off the truck.
I didn't think about that.
First, then let me tell you what's even worse than all that shit that I just told you. You know what's worse than all that shit I just told you?
What?
You're gonna take them shits home with you.
Well, I mean, I personally, I stripped at the door. I ain't bringing in none of them clothes, bro, big bro.
Hey, bro, listen, Nick, listen. Let me explain something to you. Anybody watch my channel say, listen, it ain't worth it. I went years without having an issue of bed bugs because I trained my guys. Whenever they got to a job, they took a picture. I trained them how to check the seams of the mattresses because what happens, they bite you and then they crawl off into the seam and they die. And then you'll see the blood stains and they'll be stuck because once they crawl into the seams, they die. And then once they die, the blood dries up and then they get stuck to the blood. You got to check them seams. You seen them and you, bro, I'm not touching that, bro. Let me see. Anything moving that's not a human is not going on my truck.
Nah, I
And
got you.
not because I care, it's the fact that I don't want to bring them shits home.
See,
Now
that was
listen,
just me being too
greedy.
hungry to get it. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah. You
greedy.
ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Now you can do what you want to do, but listen, I'm not finna bed bugs and roaches, bro. What was he?
Yeah,
Hold
it
on,
was
hold on, hold on.
bad.
What?
And
Wait. He wasn't black, was he?
bro,
He
but
was
I'm not
black.
gonna look.
Was he black?
He has, yeah,
He,
he has some health issues going on. So I tried to get bro. I don't know. That's
bro,
unacceptable. I don't know how
I
it can
don't
get
care
that
about
bad.
no health issues when it come to bed bugs. You talking about some health issues like that's make it okay? Them health issues ain't finna pay when you have to have what's his name come heat up your crib 3 different times. When they have to come, you got to throw everything out. They're gonna have to heat your crib up to like I forget what the temperature is, and it might take 3 times for them to do that shit. On top of the fact you had to throw everything out, bro. That shit ain't worth it. I don't care about no health conditions. Listen, do what you want to do, bro. Do what you want to do. I'm telling you, that shit ain't worth it, big dog.
That was the first time we ran into it. I ain't had to deal with nothing like that in no more. So in the future, I probably wouldn't do it. But that was one of I just seen the money. I was starting off. I was like, man, I asked my guys, y'all feel comfortable doing it? They agreed. We got it
Hey man,
done.
hey, you see me in the streets, man? Just give me this. Hit me with one of these, big dog.
Ah, bro, come
Don't
on.
give
We
me
ain't
no
dirty,
handshake.
bro.
Hit me
We
with one of
ain't dirty,
these.
bro. Don't put
Hit
that
me
on
with
me
one.
though. Don't put me on that. Don't put me
I'm
on.
gonna hit you with
Nah,
like that. I'm gonna
we
give you
ain't
the
dirty.
quick one. I'm gonna give you the.
Nah.
I'm gonna give you one of them, big dog. You did the bad bugs. You proactively did the bad bugs. Nah, big dog. We ain't on that. We ain't on it. All right. Bro, no. You gotta get this work because I've talked about bed bugs, bro. I don't fuck. No. Why
Nah.
you think he gave you so much money? Let me explain something to you. You know why wouldn't nobody do that move? Because everybody got
I
there,
know
saw how
exactly what
nasty it
happened.
was. They
Yep.
knew how nasty it was, and they
And
left.
walked out. Yep.
Like you should have did.
I should have, but I wanted to get paid. I
Hey,
wanted to get paid.
hey man, you tweaking. You get a tweaking,
Hey,
You
bro.
tweaking.
You
hey,
tweaking.
if I'm tweaking, then I'm tweaking, bro. I wanted that bread that day, bro. Them bugs wasn't gonna bother me, bro. I wanted that bread that day.
Roaches, I get, bro. I might.
I didn't see the
Uh,
bed bugs personally, but I'm assuming, bro, mattress is filthy. If I show you a picture, it's gonna look like bro
don't.
died on it.
I don't
It's
want to
gonna look
see
like
it.
bro
It
died
it
on it.
probably stank. It probably stank too, didn't it?
Bro, you see I got a mask on, and that's in the storage unit. His items stunk. You see I got a mask on, Mark.
Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications.
You see I got a mask on, bro.
How much did you charge him?
So look, it was a 3-man crew. We did 150, and then we did it came out to 1850 total. But it was 150 for 3-man crew, and then 150 for the truck the first day. It took 2 days because bro was just all
Two
over the place.
days.
Yeah, cause
Why?
look, we got there at 5. We had to pack his items because he didn't have it packed. I charged him extra for the packing. I think I charged him 200, so I had just an extra 50 or something an hour for the packing for the first 2 or 3 hours.
What about the
Then once
materials?
he had the boxes, he provided the boxes, so I didn't have to
Okay.
buy no boxes or nothing like that.
All
But
right.
it took 2 days because we loaded up his first stuff, right? And it was late. It was like probably because we started at 5, so we got done probably 9. Filled the truck up. It was a 20-foot truck. Uh, then we went to the storage unit, and I wasn't thinking, or I didn't know at the time to ask bro, what time does the storage unit close? So I ended up driving to the storage unit. He didn't want to come with us because he didn't have a car, and I don't have room on the truck to drive him. I'm with 3 guys, so he didn't come with us. But we went to the storage unit. He gave me the pin code and all that. I try to put it in, but I'm like, damn, they closed. Ain't nobody here. I'm not knowing if it's a 24-hour storage or what. So I end up calling him. I'm like, well, at first I talk to my guys. Then I end up figuring out, all right, if we're not gonna be able to do it, I'm just gonna have to keep the truck. So I charge them an overnight fee for the truck. Then I just charge them, additional the next day to come back out and finish the job. So total ended up being 1850. I forget how many hours total labor we did. I got it all written down somewhere. I got a spreadsheet with all my jobs and how much I pay and all that. But
Richard said, "What you do if you want to keep the customer? Would you not move them? I don't want that customer. Listen, let
I
me
mean,
explain
Mark,
something to
I
you.
get
I
that,
I
bro. But
I, I ain't talking to
I'm
you. I ain't talk, I'm not.
starting.
I'm not talking to you.
I,
I'm responding to this.
I,
Why would I want this customer? Who wants a bed bug infested customer? Did you just not hear what I said? That little money that you're gonna get paid, you're gonna spend 3, 4, 5 times that. All money ain't good money. That's not a customer I want. I don't want that customer at all. Why would I want a customer that's nasty? And something gonna jump out and get you. Something gonna jump out and get you. Why you want to take a risk on something that's gonna jump out and get you and bite you? Tearing your ass up at night. You're gonna be tearing your ass up. You ain't gonna know what's going on at night. All you know is you all night tearing your ass up. You brought them home with you. You brought them home with you. Hell no. What was you saying, man? What was you
Nah, you
saying?
said you weren't talking to me, so nah, it's
No,
straight.
no, no. I'm talking to you now.
Nah, I was just responding to what you were saying to bro. That's all. I was saying, I was just starting off trying to get it. Same shit I was saying.
Hey, bro, listen. All right, well. So this was the bed bug move. This is the bed bug.
Yeah, that was the
The
downtown bed bug move.
the
I
bed
done
bug
like
funky
two
bed bug
downtown
move.
moves. Honestly, I'd be a little iffy doing them because honestly,
What
I
building?
done
Wait,
had
wait,
some
wait, wait,
pro.
wait, 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 wait. What building was this?
Oh, I can't remember the name of the building. It was maybe I got the address somewhere. I have to see, but it wasn't no like it was a building I was able to get in without no because I've had a couple thumbtack leads where I've told asked the customer, hey, do you guys require insurance or anything to get in the building? And I've had that problem where I can't get in because I'm
You ain't
not
licensed, so you ain't got
certified.
no
Right?
insurance.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So I'd be a little iffy doing the downtown ones, but I've been doing a lot of the city, Riverdale, Lansing,
Oh hell
and then
no.
the Burbs. Like I say, Mark, hey, when you start, you got to get it. You could choose that because you do that. You
Bro, I
got
ain't
that
never
privilege.
bro, I ain't never did out there, bro.
Why?
Man, dude, hell, boy, you crazy?
Man,
You no, go keep going. You'll learn. You're gonna learn the hard way. You're gonna be like everybody else. You're gonna come back about whenever. You're gonna be like, man, you was right, Mark. You was right. Man, you gonna tell me some story. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go. You either not gonna get paid, or you're gonna end up fighting, or a combination of both, or you're gonna have a situation like that.
that's a possibility.
The only times I sent trucks out there, like I had to vet the customer out really, 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 really good. You talking about Lansing, Harvey,
Nah, I ain't say no Harvey
Riverdale,
now. I ain't say no Harvey.
Dalton. Dalton broke. They can't even Tiffany Henry done robbed them. They ain't got no
Yeah, they fighting and
Dalton.
all that. Yeah, I
Dalton.
ain't did no dog neither. I ain't did no dog.
So now shout
I
out to
do. I
everybody
do.
that's out there, but nah, I'm not going out there.
I do Aurora, Naperville, Bolingbrook too, bro. I do it
Yeah,
all.
yeah. You gotta go where the
So
money.
you want me? You want me to turn off a whole set of clientele just based off the possibility of not possibly getting paid?
Keep going out there.
I ain't saying I'm never gonna have that problem, but what?
No, no,
Who's
no.
to
Keep
say I'm
going.
not gonna have that
It's
problem
going.
in
You're
the
gonna have
burbs
more.
too?
It's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be more than that. Listen. It's certain things that I've said before. I ain't gonna repeat it now, but go watch the montage video. I explained everything then, and you live here, bro. Listen, it's certain customers I don't want to deal with. That's why I marketed my moving company to a certain demographic. And I love the people, but when it comes to business, it's always an issue, bro. So why send my people and why send my trucks and put my trucks in situations if I don't have to when it's a whole nother world? Like Chicago is the tale of two cities. That other city in the same city, it's like a lot of issues we don't have to deal with. So why deal with them, bro? Leave that shit to big O's. Let big O's handle them moves. Why I'm
Who
going
big
to handle them
O's?
for? Big O's movers right there on Cottage
Oh,
Grove. They used to be out west. So I'm not the only time my trucks went south is if it was a vetted out customer, a customer that was really, really vetted, or a customer that was vetted prior that's a repeat customer.
So you had problems in the past going out there, basically, is what you're saying.
Bro, we
You're
done
saying
sent
it for a reason.
I done sent people and told them to turn around, leave. I done sent people. I had a lady that was in Harvey, thought motherfucker was gonna move a floor model TV. This had to be like 2013, maybe 2014. Thought somebody was gonna move a floor model TV. It was a floor model TV and something else from Harvey to Joliet. And she thought it was $30. Like, lady, are you kidding me?
$30 total?
$30. Hell
Yeah,
no,
she
I
tripping.
ain't paying. Hell no, you got me fucked up. Like, bro, I don't know how the times is a moving company. It's $100 an hour. I think we started like $100 an hour at that time, 75 an hour. Nah, bro, I'm not finna deal with that. Oh, y'all bullshit, man. Why you taking all like, man, oh, just put it in the truck. They looking for a reason not to pay you. Anybody got time for that? I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. 72nd and Coles. It was didn't know it was a domestic. Didn't know it was a domestic until they got into the move. Chick, the boyfriend came. She trying to duck out. She trying to duck out on Buddy ass when he wasn't there. Buddy ass pulled back up. Now they
He was
calling the
hot.
office. It's an issue. 72nd and Coles. But we had to leave the office and go over there. Why? Why when you go up north, you don't got to deal with that type of shit?
Yeah. But see, you was doing it at first though, right?
No, no. You
You
know
was
what I
doing it a
learned?
little bit.
You know what I learned? No, no. See, I never marketed. The
Oh, you
first
never marketed it.
hold
Okay.
on, listen. The first jobs that I got when I first ever started posting were up north. I might have took maybe a handful of jobs like on the south side and the west side for me to realize no. It only took me a few jobs. When I say a handful, I'm talking about some fingers left. Not to say that we did it, because guess what? I had an account with Thresholds, right? And I had an account with the social board. So they would pay for the move. So with those accounts, I would deal with it because we getting a plethora of different moves dealing with the social board, right? Because they coming in, they paying for the move, and they social workers, so the city is dealing with a bunch of cases. So once I got that shit, then I had to deal with it, but it's the city paying for it. So whatever we dealing with going into these situations, we'll deal with it. One, the social worker is there. Sometimes the police would be there, and I'm dealing with the city. So it's a volume. I'm not turning that. Now, if phone them call, a man in them call directly and want to book something, and they live in certain parts of the city, no, I'm gonna vet them out, and depending on, but 98% of the time, no. But go do your thing. You're gonna learn. You just gonna have to learn on your own. Now, this is a vet telling you this. If all money was, if a person is willing to turn money away, it's a reason why. Then your
Because it
workers
come
don't
with problems.
your workers don't want to go. I've been around for a long time. Back in the day, this was when people were still standing on the corner. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that shit no more. But it just be problems, bro. It be
Nah, I get you.
problems. So I'm gonna be honest with you. You got a profile. I'm not going to listen. If you have bad experiences dealing with in certain areas and shit, see, you ain't old enough to know. But like back in the day, the pizza delivery man did deliver pizza in certain areas.
I've heard of that.
Back in the day when taxi cabs was around, you couldn't catch a taxi cab on the south side. You go up north, you see every other car's a cab. You go on Clark Street up north, you on Broadway, up and down Fullerton, Armitage. You go on the south side of the west side, you could be on Chicago Avenue and Cicero. You could be on, goddamn it, 79th and Racine, 79th and the Dan Ryan, 87th and Cottage. You ain't seeing cabs like you would see up north and downtown. Why? They didn't want to do it. You had to get a livery cab. They used to call them the $5 cabs back in the day. Why you think so?
It was getting robbed.
No, it was more than just getting right. It's just if you're running a business
Problems, just problems.
and you having problems and there's a high likelihood of something happening, you're going to eventually not service that side. And guess what? There's good people in that side, but at the end of the day, I'm a businessman. If I've tried it before and I see that it's a whole nother world, a plethora of the jobs are going to come from downtown and up north anyway. People on the south and the west side, they not finna pay $200 an hour. They're gonna go to U-Haul. They're gonna get a 26-footer. They're gonna pay the $39.99. They're gonna pay the $1 a mile, and they're gonna get four of them, all little four of them, few little four of them. Four gonna go get his little four of them, man, and them. They gonna all come. They gonna throw that shit on the truck, and then they're gonna get that shit to where it's gonna go, and they're gonna take that shit off the truck, and they're gonna take that U-Haul back. They not finna pay $200 an hour. But the ones that do, once they realize how much money is going to cost and you go in there and you do it the right way, you start to see that fidgeting and that nervousness and and all that shit. Bro, ain't nobody got time for all of that. Them people up north, man, you give them the book to move, you give them the quote, $200 an hour. Okay, you get there, they got pizza, Jimmy John's, Gatorades, they got Gatorades lined up, waters and shit. And they got the boxes. They got the what do you guys gonna put on the truck first? Oh, you're gonna start with the box. They're gonna have the boxes already at the door for you, labeled and nice and neat and taped and all this shit. Bro, let me tell you something. I gave a person a chance during the pandemic. I forget where it was at. It was somewhere off of like 88th and Loomis or some shit. I don't know, bro. But let me tell you how ignorant this chick was. I don't know why I took it, bro. But I just took it, right? Bro, we get there. This chick had all the boxes in the living room threw in a pile. Not stacked. Just literally threw in a pile. Boxes. Not stacked. Just tossed in a pile. So you know they taking the boxes and they dragging them into the living room and just tossing them in the pile. So you know if they tossing them, the corners is crushed and the boxes, certain boxes is crushed. But I looked at that shit and I said, we're not doing this. Well, why not? Look at this shit. I'm gonna pay. I walked out on that chick.
Because not only that, she could say you damaged something that you ain't really damaged. So yeah.
It's not, if a person don't have respect enough for their own shit, why should I? Why do I even want to attempt to do it? So you gonna learn things over the course of years that you have to use your instincts as well, because you already, this business is a lot of liability. You have to it only took 2 people not to pay me to never have to go through that shit again. Now, both of those people, they weren't black. It was a white guy up north, a gay white guy up north, and it was a gypsy over in goddamn it, the Village. You know where the Village is at? You a young boy, you don't know where the Village. Remember, you don't know where the Village. He lived over in the Village area. He didn't pay. I know why he didn't pay. He was on hard times. He needed to move. He really didn't have the money, and he should have just been honest. But it took those 2 times for me to really, if something just don't feel right or something don't sound right, a person is shifty, things like that. You just learn just to stay away. And then certain people with certain areas, you just stay away from altogether. Imagine doing a job especially when you out on the truck and you're working hours and hours and hours and hours doing this type of labor intensive work and then just not get paid. When that guy didn't pay me that day, this is back in 2012. I remember it like it was yesterday. 7 hours to do that job and that motherfucker didn't pay. He gave us $150.
Ain't shit.
Right. The job was seven. It was $700. He gave us 150. That's all he had. They had to pull me up out of there, bro. Literally.
So like in a situation like that, I understand what you can do, but what is the right
Ain't nothing.
thing to do in that
Ain't nothing.
situation?
Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing you can do. Person don't pay you, they don't pay you. It's nothing you could do. The police is gonna come. They're gonna tell you gotta take it to small claims. Your situation, you're not licensed, so you really not supposed to be doing this
Nothing,
shit
right?
anyway. So even if you was licensed, there's still nothing you could do because it's still a small claims issue. You know what I'm saying? They had to pull me up out of there. It was the first time it ever happened to me. All I saw was red. Do I close the door? It was him, his wife, and they two little kids. I'm like, bro, I closed the front door. Man, they looked. Man, they had to pull me up out of there. That would have went bad for me if I didn't have people that was with me that could talk me down. But it wasn't gonna be good for me because I was wrong. Even though they didn't pay me, I was wrong.
So did you ever start making people pay like a deposit or something?
Only long distance.
Only long distance. Okay.
Only long distance. The local stuff, I just dealt with the suburbs and up north. And when we took jobs west or south, it was, a level of discernment where the customers was vetted really, really well. Most of the people on those sides of town, when you give them the price, they're gonna tell you they're gonna call you back anyway. So most of the people will cancel themselves out. And there's jobs that I vetted out. I thought I vetted out good. I remember a job where I actually sent the crew and they sent pictures. Like this lady had maggots crawling on the stove. Why? Because she had hamburger meat. She had been cooking and the different meat and shit sitting and she ain't clean. And they walked in and they did the inspection and they sent that. They called the office. They're like, man, she got maggots and shit. I'm like, but send me a picture. So I'm gonna do you one better. It's FaceTime. So this was like maybe 2016, 2017. I'm like, get the hell up out of there. What you want to tell her lady? Don't tell her shit. Tell her son she got maggots and shit crawling. If she got an issue and she want to call, tell her to call the office. And I'll tell her. Don't you tell her nothing because I don't want y'all to be faced with confrontation. Just leave. Just leave. Whatever y'all brought in there, shrink wrap, tape, blankets, take all that shit out to the truck, get in the truck and leave. Don't tell her nothing. We'll call her and we'll let her know. I remember it was a job I remember who was on that job, Should, because he was scared of bugs. It was on 71st and um 71st and right over there by the metro. So 71st and one block west of Jeffrey. I can't think of it right now. What's one by that ain't Bennett? Yeah, 71st. Is that Bennett? 71st and Bennett. Yeah, it was they had bed bugs. Now I just happened to be floating. So when he called me, he's like, man, I think they got bed bugs. I'm like, shit, I'm right here right now. I was at the Dominic's. It was still a Dominic's right there. I was literally right there. I went into Dominic's to get something. So I'm right around the corner at the Dominic's. So I shot over there. They was there. This was that crew's like last move of the day. So I got there. He took me to the bedroom. He showed me. I'm like, yep. So we was looking at the scene. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, you gonna tell him? Because the head of that crew, he was kind of timid. So I'm like, hold on, let me check. So I checked some more shit. Then I went down to the I just kind of put the mattress up and I looked at the box spring was more. So I went and I told the guy because it was a husband or a boyfriend and his girl or his wife. And in the room they had the mattress and then they had a baby crib in their bedroom, right? So I went and told the guy, and I said, "Man, we can't do the move." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Y'all got bed bugs." He said, "For real?" I said, "Yeah." So right when I was walking back in the room, I heard him go in the other room and tell her, like, they said they can't do the move. She said, "Why?" He said, "I told." No, this is what happened. He said, "I told you. I told you." She's like, "What? Told me what?" He said, "We got bed bugs. They said they can't do the move. We got bed bugs. I told you. That's what's been biting us." So she came in
That's
there.
crazy.
"What's going on?" I said, "You can't do the move. You got bed bugs." "How you know?" I said, "Look right here." I said, "It's a baby crib right there. So if all these little dead ones is right here in the scene, I'm pretty sure they at the crib too." So it was a crib right there with the little baby mattress. But I flipped the damn baby mattress up. It was one big one right there. I'm like, that go one right there.
That's crazy. And the crib is crazy.
So I'm just,
Nah, I get what you're saying. You had, your past experiences, and it's just a certain, area or, you know, type of customer where it's not even worth it for you no more,
no,
because of the
it
possibility.
it never was worth it. It never was worth it. Listen, do what you want to do. You gonna learn the hard way. I listen. You live in the same city as me.
Yeah.
Don't you think I know my city? I know it better than you. I'm old enough to be your daddy. So
Yeah,
so 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 you can go do them, but I guarantee you gonna say, "Man, I should have listened to you." Go do your thing.
I got you.
Oh, we going through your pictures, right? Why you don't want to go up north?
What you mean?
Why you just don't want to stick to up north and downtown?
Because I don't know, I'll be a little iffy on the downtown ones. Because I mean, if I pay for the lead and I can't get in the building, it's kind of like a waste of a
If
lead. But
you
I
should know that
mean,
because the customer should tell you if you need a COI to get in the building before the day of the move. Because here's the thing: if you need a
no, I
COI to get, if you need a COI to get in the building, you got to add them to the insurance as additionally insured. So you need to know that before the day of the move anyway.
right. Well, no, I be asking them. I don't be going there. I've never like went to the place and got denied, but I be asking them over the phone when we're going through, what the move is about. Hey, I understand you live downtown. Does your building have any, do I need insurance or any certifications, anything like that? But I got all my areas turned on. Like I got up north, Evanston, all the way up to Evanston. I got Lincoln Park, Oak Park, all that.
I think you should. I don't think these is good pictures, bro. To be honest with you, like if I was a customer, I would. I'm like, what is this? I'm keeping a butt with. What is this? I think you need to take some better quality pictures. I need you to take some better quality pictures with the trucks actually packed right, right? Because this is not, if you a customer is looking at this, they're gonna, you know, you need to take some better quality pictures, big dog.
I got you.
How you got a 4.6, but you only got one? No, you got a 4.5. Wait, 4.6. Yeah,
Only
you
got
need
what?
to get some better pictures and
So what you think about like the rapping though? Like I get the pictures, okay, but like the rapping, do I need to rap it differently? I understand I got to use a different rap, but
you could do a better job with rapping. You see this right here? See these?
it's a little blurry. But I'm trying to look. You saying like the thin spots?
these gaps and stuff. But see, that's because you was using this cheap shrink wrap.
It's all
But
wrap. It's just thin spots in some areas because that stuff is real thin. But yeah,
yeah, get you some better wrap. But you said you got some, so use the better wrap. Make sure you cover the bed 100%.
that was a glass table. Wrapped it with the blanket first, then put the wrap over it.
Get you some tape.
Movers tape.
Yup.
So don't even
Cause
wrap
you
them type of things. Just put the tape on it.
no, you put the blanket on, but you could have used tape. You could have put blank. You could have put some shrink wrap over the tape too if you wanted. But you should have had when you put the blankets on. You should have held the blanket on with some tape because I already knew it was difficult trying to go around this with the shrink wrap without having it taped. You should have taped this. Use movers tape to tape this blanket to it. And if you wanted to, you could have used shrink wrap too, or you couldn't have not. You got to know how to stretch your materials out too, because the shrink wrap is more expensive than the tape. So something like this, you get a 110-yard roll of tape, a case of 110-yard rolls of movers tape. Go to CDS out in Arlington Heights and get that shit by the case. And this, you could have just wrapped that with used tape for that. You could have reinforced it, but you could have just probably used tape for that.
Okay. So for the picture quality, what should I be looking for? Fully packed trucks, packed correctly. Uh, what else?
I would take a picture of a fully packed truck, not a half packed truck. Take a
I
picture
got
of
you.
a fully packed truck that's packed to perfection. Because this is what customers are looking at. If I'm a customer, you don't know who's viewing it. I'm looking for a move. I'm looking at this truck. I used to work for a moving company. Let's say I know what a packed truck looks like. I'm not calling you. I know what the green shrink wrap signifies. 43 gauge. I don't want my shit wrapped in 43 gauge shrink wrap. I don't want my shit shifting and transfer, shifting and transport. I want my ottomans wrapped. I need the truck packed right so that the shit doesn't shift and transport. You knew, so I get why these mistakes, and I know that's why you hear it, but that's why I'm telling you what to do so you can get it right. Cause see, these types of moves that you getting, like what you charging?
So for two people, it's 100 an hour, 2 hour labor minimum. Truck fee can vary from 125 to 200, depending on how far. And then three people is just 150. And then travel fee if there's no truck, 50 to $75 depending on location.
How much you paying your gas?
So the way I've been doing it is, uh, I'll take out my expenses for the truck, gas, the rental costs, and I'll put either, 20 to 25% to the business. And then if it's just me and two guys, I'll just split the cost. The rest of the money we split that.
So you don't pay them by the hour?
Nah, not necessarily hourly on a certain number. No,
So let's say after cost, let's say that $2,000 job after cost, let's say it was like
I got the numbers of all what
let's
I
say
actually paid to the business.
let's say it was $1,200 left after cost. You gave them $400 a piece.
No, I still have to pay the business first.
No, I'm saying after the cost, and let's say it's $1,200 left, you would have split it three ways, $400 a piece.
Yeah, way I'm doing it now.
Why don't you just pay them by the hour? Because that
I
don't make
haven't, but I
sense.
could.
If you charging a customer $150 an hour for three guys, which I think is extremely high for a novice, I think that's extremely high for a novice.
For three people,
You don't know what the hell you're doing. What makes you think you can charge a customer $150 an hour?
so there's people charging more.
So you know why they charging more?
Not everybody is
Here's the
experienced
thing.
either.
Here's the thing.
I'm just going off what the competition on Thumbtack is. I set 100
Here,
for my two man price because Uh, I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but I said 100 for my two-man price because I see the competition. Some people do 125, some people do 90. I thought 100 would be a good number.
But what about your skill set?
I mean, obviously to you, I'm not, I'm a novice, but to these people and the customers, they think we do pretty good work for our price. People on Thumbtack are
Oh,
taxing.
okay. So hold on. So July comes around, June comes around. Now you're getting a different demographic of people for this price point, and they got a higher quality of stuff. See, you haven't ran into any issues yet because of the way you doing. What happens when you run into one? So this is what I'm saying. Certain customers are going to avoid certain price points. I got Italian leather furniture and a huge fish tank. Do you think you could come move me?
A huge fish tank. Honestly, if that fish tank was too big, I wouldn't even feel comfortable. Just based off my skill set, I keep it
So
real.
you
I've turned down jobs
would
for
would
all
you?
glass stuff.
Why you didn't turn down the bed bugs?
Come on, Mark. That was. I didn't see the bed bugs in the picture, Mark. If I would have seen the bed, I told you I
You
got
saw them
there,
when
and
you saw them when you got there. So let me ask you
yeah, we
this.
already
Let me
know.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. My living room set, my TVs. How you gonna take care of my TVs?
Blanket, wrap it, double blanket. If it's a big TV, like anything 65 and up.
And where you gonna put it on the truck?
Typically, if I put the mattress against the boxes, I wouldn't be able to do this. But the way we've been doing it is, I'll typically put the TVs either towards the front of the truck, where there's nothing, they can either lay flat or lay up against something that's not going to shift, or I'll put it up against the blank. I mean, not the blanket, the mattress.
What you say the front of the truck? What do you consider the front of the truck?
Back of the truck towards the door.
So you said you'll lay it flat,
Yeah, on a blanket.
like face down.
Probably the backside, not the screen down, but the backside. But typically, we just put them between the mattress. That's the way we've been doing it right now.
On the floor.
So say we'll have the mattress against the wall, one of the side walls. We'll probably just put the mattress, and then we'll put the
So
TVs behind it.
so if you pack the truck right, the mattress shouldn't be on the sidewall. The mattress should be up against the boxes.
That's what I'm saying. That's the way we've been doing it, so far. I understand now that that's not the correct way, but that's the way we've been doing it. So I was just answering your question.
So what happened if you get a TV, you hit a pothole, then what? I got lines in my TV, so what's gonna happen now?
I mean, why would that's a
Why would
I'm
what?
putting it between the mattress. I'm putting a blanket
So
down,
so I can
and
tell
so it's
you.
not like
Listen,
it's.
listen. I put a TV between. Listen, I put a TV not even between the mattress. I put a TV um in the couch. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, or in the couch.
the hold on, the couch was here. I put the TV on the sofa and then had the other how did I do it? I put the pillows. I had the TV sitting on top of the couch. All right. It didn't move. It was secure, but it still had lines in it. I've had TVs that guys have had TVs that I know they packed it right and still just being pressed up. Here's the thing. The reason why I asked you is because you got these TVs now, like these OLEDs, these real thin TVs. You can set it on the floor in between the mattress, but they're so delicate. You could touch the TV and destroy some of them pixels. And that's what happened. That happened to me with a TV during the pandemic.
So what's the best way to pack the TV?
They gotta have a TV box. Certain
TV
TVs
box.
got certain TVs got certain TVs nowadays have to have a TV box.
So is it more so based on the size, or is it like kind of just the
If
brand,
somebody if
quality
somebody got like an
TV, all that?
85 if somebody got an 85-inch, let's say OLED, that's like a real thin frame, like bro, ain't no, like, you gotta have a TV box.
Okay.
You gotta have a TV box. You know why? I remember one guy during the pandemic. I had to go down. It was downtown. Like, I wasn't putting that TV on the truck. That TV was probably that thick. Literally, it was the frame. It was that thin. It was like maybe 75 inches. I was not. I just didn't feel comfortable. It was too. It was too thin. Right. It was a high rise downtown. I prayed that it was a TV box downstairs by the dumpsters. Guy was on my side. That's how quick I thought. I'm like, man, let me go back down by the dumpsters and see if somebody in this building, because it was a high rise, maybe 50 floors, so it was a bunch of you. And I said, man, I hope somebody bought a TV in the past couple of days and it's a TV box down there. By the grace of God, it was a TV box down there, the right size. And I was able to put that TV in that box. It wasn't no way I was putting that TV. The reason I'm telling you all this is because with the price that you're charging, when I first got started, I was charging a very low price. So that low price attracted a certain type of customer. The type of customer that attracted was the type of customer that allowed me to learn how to pack the truck, how to wrap things, and wasn't going to hold me accountable because they shit wasn't shit anyway. All they shit was hand me downs and scratched up, and they were more concerned with just getting the shit from point A to point B as quickly as possible. When you're charging a certain amount of money and you're a platform like Thumbtack, you're going to eventually start getting people that are looking for a move in that price point, $150. And you're going to run across somebody that has some really nice things. And based on what I'm seeing here, you're still in the learning process. It's going to happen. It's not me being negative and this and third. It's moving. Eventually, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to drop something. You're going to trip. You're going to miss a step. You're going to turn too soon. You're not going to wrap it right, and the leg is going to puncture through the blanket, and you're going to break the leg, or you're still new. You're going to put something, a dresser or a chest on end, right? And it has the screw-on legs, and you're going to tip it over to stand it right up, and then once it gets on that leg is going to
It's gonna crack.
collapse
Yep.
or collapse. You know why? Because everybody goes through it. Then what do? That's what I'm saying. You kind of don't want those types of moves. Probably really even shouldn't be downtown. You should be doing
I
let me tell you what you should be doing. You should be doing young urban professionals like up in Andersonville, over in Wicker Park, Bucktown. People that's moving, that got those Sterilite Target little dresser drawers and the IKEA beds and shit like that. That's your client. The reason why I'm telling you this is because those clients aren't going to hold you accountable because their stuff isn't creme de la creme. Because if I come on here and I see you on Thumbtack and I call you to come move me, you going to come in here, bro. I got TVs on the wall. I got a big ass tank. It has to be taken care of. My furniture is leather. I need that shit wrapped. I don't want to see shit. I shouldn't be able to know what the hell the couch look like. My mattress need to be wrapped. My bed need to be breaking down. All this studio shit need to be wrapped. All these screens need to be taken care of. Would you feel comfortable? Because $150 an hour, this is what I'm looking to get. No, I'm asking you. It's a question.
Oh, you asking me? I would feel comfortable with everything except the glass tank, depending on how big it is.
Okay. So you're going to wrap all my monitors, all my TVs. You're going to take them off the wall.
Correct?
You're going to wrap my sofas 100%. My
Yeah.
mattresses.
I have a question. When you're
Uh-huh.
wrapping sofas, do you ever use the blankets on the sofas, or do you only just use the
Well,
wrap? Because we only been using the wrap.
So here's the thing: the way you wrap and stuff, you wasn't using the right wrap. It's a certain way you wrap the sofas so that you can get away with not using a blanket. If you do use a blanket, let's say, and this is a veteran technique. If we going like down 3 or 4 flights of stairs, the end where it's gonna be touching the ground, right? At each landing, right? We'll wrap that in with a blanket, right? Because say
So
we're going down
the
3 or 4 flights, the end that's gonna hit the landing and turn each one, we'll shortcut it and just put a blanket on that end, wrap everything else with the shrink wrap in the end that'll be touching the ground on each landing and then turning it. That's the side we'll wrap.
okay.
Now, you're a rookie. So I would, if I was you, I wouldn't,
You wouldn't do that?
I would do things the right way. I don't think you ain't in a position to really
Cheat. I got you. Okay.
cheat because we don't know if you know the proper techniques, if you can even handle it, you know how to angle the shit the right way, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of
I got you. But no, I would feel comfortable doing everything, wrapping your monitors, taking the TVs down. Only thing I wouldn't feel, the very most confident in is that tank. Because, like, if it's a small fish aquarium, sure, I'll feel
no, it's
comfortable
big.
enough. Double blanket. Nah, I didn't know.
So you
I
would
wouldn't
turn
even
my
set
move
myself up.
you would turn my move down.
I would tell you I wouldn't feel comfortable. It's just like if you had a piano, I would tell you I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that item. And if you chose to go with another company, I mean, yeah, I would turn the move down until I felt comfortable enough doing that. Like I've had people say they got like, an L-shaped piano or anything like that, and I've moved one piano with another dude I used to work with, moving, and that was hard. We weren't prepared for it. So on my own, no, I'm definitely not doing no pianos
You
or
shouldn't touch a
safes.
piano. Was it an upright piano?
It was the L shape, the ones with the two legs that can screw off
The two
or
legs in the
upright.
front. Yeah, it's an upright
Yeah.
piano.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What did you take the legs off?
We didn't do it. I don't. Oh, you talking about when we moved it? The one time? Yeah, we took the legs off, but
How'd you
we ain't had
how'd you
no we
you handle what?
we ain't had no. It was just we ain't had no straps or nothing. So it was like three of us. We was just carrying it. I think we had one four-wheel dolly, so we was able
And
to lift it.
and and see, that's what I'm saying. Like you at a price point and doing you
That
attracting
wasn't
cus.
me. That wasn't me. That was another dude I worked for. This wasn't on my this wasn't me my doing. This was somebody else I was working with.
So you should pay your guys. I think you need to pay them by the hour.
Okay.
I mean, if you charge them by the hour, you should pay them by the hour.
I mean, I understand that. I guess that would be more so the business way to do it. I kind of been running it more so of like a hustle and just making sure that, I pay the business. Uh, I mean,
If you running
obviously
it
that
like
was a big job you
if
said,
you running it if you running it like a hustle, you ain't got no business. The
right?
proper way to do it is how you gonna say you run it like a hustle, but you want to pay the business? If you gonna run it, you should run it. You should. Do you plan on turning this into a licensed business? You know how hard it is to get a mover's license here, right?
Yeah. You
So
went
you
you
plan
explained the
you
process.
so you plan on doing it.
Yeah.
So then you should do it like how if you was doing it the right way anyway. If you're gonna charge $100 and some dollars an hour, you should be paying, let's say 20, let's say $25 an hour, right? For each man, right? So that means you're making 100% off of each man per hour, right? So I'm making 100% off of each man, 25, 25, and 25. Business is making $75 an hour off the labor. Your truck fees are, what the customer's paying for them. You could bundle that stuff up into a truck fee, right? And then you're gonna make a profit off of that as well. And that's what the business is making. So if you got three guys, you're paying them $25 an hour, you're charging 150 an hour, you making $75 an hour. The business is making $75 an hour. Your costs are
So are
already
you?
being taken care of because the customer is paying all the costs. It's not like middle mile trucking where you got to do your cost per mile. I'm charging you $150 an hour for labor. My labor is $20 an hour. My labor is $25 an hour. So I'm making $75 an hour. The company's making $75 an hour off the labor. The only thing you calculating is your estimate. If you're gonna bundle your fees up into a truck fee, you should know what the average how much materials you lose on an average one bedroom move. Average one bedroom move, 1,800 square feet of 80 gauge shrink wrap. You're gonna use about a half a roll on a normal standard one bedroom, maybe a half to three quarters of a roll, depending on how much stuff they have. Now I'm calculating putting the mattress, the box spring, the sofa, the love seat. They have a chair, obviously the dresser, the chest, right? If you're gonna throw some shrink wrap on the pillows, unless you got, I know you ain't got no speed packs or nothing like that. So you ain't got the
No,
speed packs
we
and
got
things like
bags
that.
for
All right,
pillows and blankets and stuff like that though.
so let's say a half a roll, right? You should know how much. Okay, a normal one bedroom using about a half a roll, 1,800 square foot, 80 gauge shrink wrap. Boom, we're using about X amount of rolls of tape. All right, the blankets, your cost for the blankets is just your laundry for the blankets and the frequency of when you wash them, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be. So then you can kind of calculate. Okay, when we buying the tape by the case, we getting 110 yard. Uh, uh, get the 110 yard, not the 55. Tape, 36 to a case, whatever it's going to cost you. You divide that up by how many rows, 36 rows, and then you know what's average one bit, how many rows. So then you know what you pretty much making on average for as far as using for the material for the jobs, and then you can calculate like your fuel and shit like that uh based on what point A to point B is going. So what I would normally do, you still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. What I would normally do back in the day, I would charge this is back in the day, I would charge a flat rate no matter where they were at in the city for the truck fee, and then out in the suburb, depending on how far out, the truck fee would increase. So that's what I think you should do right now. And I would work towards
So
getting that license.
what would be, so you saying like 25 an hour is a good rate? Because I mean,
You can
my
start
my
them at
thought was my thought was, starting off, I'll just make sure that, the business gets a certain amount every move that like I was saying, I was doing either 20 to 30% depending on how much it paid. And then, I would calculate my expenses, and then
listen.
I would also
If
I
you
would just split the
listen,
money.
you it's if you're charging a customer by the hour, what do you mean? You're making a hundred
No, I
percent
was
off the
saying I was
listen,
saying
listen,
I was
listen,
just
listen,
asking if
listen,
that's a
listen,
good.
listen, listen, listen. You making 100% markup off the labor.
Right.
What are you talking about? If I'm charging $50 an hour a man, and I'm paying each man $25 an hour, what are we talking about? You got a 2 hour minimum. So I know already in the door. You call Mark. Listen, three guys, 150 an hour, 2 hour minimum plus $150 truck fee. Before we touch anything, you already at 450. 2 hours at 3-man labor is how much?
It's 300.
That's 150. 2 hour minimum. 75 an hour for the labor. You charging 150. So your
Oh, you
labor is
charge
one one
75. Okay.
150. So you already to the company three. So what do you mean I need the company to get? You already know what the company get because you charging the customer by the hour. Every hour, every hour your worker makes 25, you make 25 off each worker. If you pay them 20, you making 30.
So you don't pay yourself.
What do you mean?
You're saying the company makes, right?
Listen, listen.
You don't pay yourself as a worker?
Are you on the truck?
Yeah.
All right, well, $25 an hour. I
All
just
right, I was
said
just making sure.
three guys. If
Okay.
you the third guy, $25 an hour, $20 an hour, $25 an hour. So if you paying you and two other guys and y'all is 75 an hour, the company making 75 an hour. I'm just using these numbers for an example. I don't think you're worth 150 an hour. I think you're gonna get one of these people at that rate charging that much. You're gonna get somebody with some nice shit, and I think you should go down to about 125.
For
You're
three?
gonna get you're gonna get more jobs, and you're gonna attract a customer that's not gonna hold you accountable when you make a mistake.
For three people. So what? So keep the price the same for two?
Nah, two guys, I'll go down to about 85, 90 an hour.
Mm, okay. And you think that would attract more people?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you who you going up against. Galindo, Galindo been around for years. Galindo, that dude. Galindo probably getting 200 an hour. Galindo, okay, so Galindo say 125 an hour, but guess what? Galindo probably making more than 125 an hour. But if Galindo is charging 125 an hour here, what makes you think you can charge 150? Because I know Galindo that dude. I know he that dude. You know why I know he that dude? Because
But he
Galindo
charging
been
125 for two people, or as
hold
blur, I
on.
can't see.
2 hour minimum, 125 an hour, 2 hour minimum. It don't say if it's I don't it don't say if it's two or three guys. But
I would
here's
assume
the
that's
thing.
for two, Mark.
But here's the thing. He right in the range of you. You should be charging less than him. Now I can't tell you what to charge, but I'm telling you what you should be charging for your skill set. The reason why I could learn the business and not be held accountable is because when I was charging that minimal amount back in the day, it was a certain customer that was coming to me. The customer that was coming to me was a customer that didn't have good, nice shit. It was college students, yuppies that had hand me down furniture that their parents gave them, and they just wanted the shit to get from point A to point B. Don't worry about it. I just need it. Just put it on the truck. 150 an hour, you're gonna get a higher quality of a customer, and you still learning the business. You can do what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you to save your behind. Galindo been around since me. That's how I know who he is. I could tell you everybody who OGs. Keep it. They've been around. Galindo been around. I don't know who that is. They've been around. Marathon Movers. They when I first got started, they was getting started back in the day. It's an Arab guy. He's Arab. I know who he is. Arabs.
Yeah.
How you think I knew it? I don't know these guys.
Well, no, I mean, you gave me some good things to think about. I definitely think, the pricing and how I pay my workers can definitely change. The 25 hour, and that's a good idea because that way you know exactly what the business is making instead of you know figuring it out at the end, trying to put 20-30% to it. You know,
Me,
before you,
me. I want. Listen, this is what I want. If I'm coming in, I need $85 an hour, $90 an hour. Like this kid right here, bro. Dude, that's tripping. Dude right here. Let me show you. Talking about 150 an hour. Who is dude? Who are you, dude?
that's what I say. Like, I mean, I don't know if these people really
But
get jobs or
but
not,
but
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 I
but
try.
see, but here's what I'm saying. They not getting jobs. You can charge whatever you want, but volume is key. And then
Right.
you have to be honest with yourself. If a person was willing to pay you $200, if you knew you can get $200 from a customer, you would go up on your price, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you market yourself and shit like that, but now you getting a $200 type customer. 200 an hour. So you got a customer that's willing to pay you 3 hours, you looking at 600 off the labor. You talking about a different customer. This ain't your South Side and West Side customer, right? So this customer is probably going to have some nice things. Are you skilled enough to properly come into some people's home and rap a William Sonoma or Walter E. Smith? I'm asking you.
Uh, Walter E. Smith mattress? No, not
No.
not mattress.
What
Walter.
you missing the point of what I'm trying to tell you. When you charging this type of money, this is a person who can afford it. It's a different type of customer, which means you have to have a different skill set because you're dealing with more quality. Not everybody is going to have nice things, but a person that's going to pay you 200 some dollars an hour, the likelihood of them having more expensive things is higher, right? Have you broken anything yet?
I haven't broken anything. I've damaged. If you go in the reviews, I've marked up a frame, door frame.
Have
That
you
was my only.
get
That was my only
okay? Where was this job at?
incident.
Where was the job at?
Where was that? Manhattan, Illinois. I want to say it was somewhere far out. I can't even remember. Let me check. I mean, I don't want to go off, but if you go back on my thing, it's he gave me the 2 star. He the only 2 star.
I didn't even see a 2 star. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's on there. I had we were moving a couch. It didn't fit, and we tried to make it fit. Dumb stuff. Marked up his frame, door frame, and whatnot. You probably have to go to more down at the bottom or something. I don't know. The dude with
Right
pictures, you
here.
passing it. Look, it's right there.
I see. I have to repaint multiple walls and replace trim on one of my door frames after these guys moved furniture from me. My house was just painted a month ago. See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's bad, big dog. Yeah, that shit don't look good. Well, here's the thing. So you know what type of paint this is, right?
I'm assuming it's a special type of paint that can't just get brushed off with a
No,
magic
no, no.
eraser or
See,
something like that.
this is you got to learn. What type of paint is this, sir? What
I,
type of
I,
paint is
I
this?
don't know.
This is flat paint. You touch flat paint, it's dirty. You can't wipe it. You can't wash it. You can't wipe it down. Nothing. You have to avoid it like the plague. This right here is from y'all. What was y'all trying to get in the couch?
Yeah, it was a big old sectional, but it was a long piece, and he had the way is another wall across from the door, so we were trying to turn it, and it was just too long, I suppose. Well, it wouldn't fit through the door, number one, width wise, but it was too long to angle. It was hitting the wall, the opposite wall. I can't explain it
When
because
you was getting it in, when you was trying to get
yeah,
it in.
it was a labor only, so it was from the living room, right? It was a big old sectional, and they wanted it downstairs in the basement. So
Mm-hmm.
we got the smaller parts down, no problem. But when we tried to get this bigger part in, the long part of the sectional, there was an opposite wall that was blocking us from doing it the way we previous did it. So we tried to fit it, you know, the long regularly through, and that's when
When you
that
say
had
an
happened.
opposite, you say an opposite wall in the same room that you was trying to get it out of, or once you
Yeah.
got through the
So
threshold.
look. So imagine they got the living room, right? Then it's a basement door. Across from the
Mm-hmm.
basement door is a opposite like bathroom wall,
Mm-hmm.
just the opposite wall. And
Mm-hmm.
the space that we were turning the smaller couches was no problem
Mm-hmm.
because it was small enough. But when we
Mm-hmm.
got to the bigger couch, we couldn't
Mm-hmm.
make the same angle to get it, through the door
So
correctly.
So you got a wall right here. You got a wall like the wall, and then you got the door. So a wall and a door, right?
Correct.
Wall. So this is the door and this is the wall, and then
Correct.
in center is the couch. And y'all tried to turn it down the stairs.
Tried to, because there was an opening from the kitchen, so we were trying to we put the cushion side towards the door at first, because cushions you can kind of press up against it. So we were trying to make that turn in.
Okay.
The smaller
All
ones, it
right.
was fine because it was going, but
So so you this is where you messed up. You shouldn't have tried to make the turn. So you got the wall and you got the door. You
right,
stand the couch. You stand the couch up vertically.
correct,
Once you stand the couch up vertically in front of the door and the wall, the person who's in the stairway, and then you got a person who's behind. So when you stand in the couch up vertically, you got the door and the wall. Couch is in the middle, standing up vertically. What you do is the person who's in the kitchen, not in the door, is going to tilt the couch back, barely tap the wall. The person who's in the stairs is going to snatch the couch from the bottom.
right.
You're gonna be behind the couch and let the couch guide down without hitting the wall. You're gonna be using your body to kind of let the couch guide down while the person is in the stair is pulling the couch from bottom. Once he pulls the couch from down and it drop it to your hands, then you can go straight down. You shouldn't
Yeah,
have been trying to
but
make the turn.
that's what we had tried to do too. But that's what I was saying. Like when we were trying to, because you're saying right, stand the couch up normally vertically, and then you
Mm-hmm.
you tilt it back towards the person towards the wall, and the person
Mm-hmm.
in the stairs pulls the bottom. Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. We tried doing that. When I would pull my bottom and my partner on the back, it was hitting the wall. That's where you see the marks at on some of the bottom part or the
But
top part.
why?
I don't know where. That's
I
what I'm assuming. I don't know other. That's what I'm assuming the marks are from my memory. I couldn't imagine where else they would come from. That was the only item we had a problem with. Everything else went smooth.
So let's read your response. We sincerely apologize for the damages caused during the move. The piece of furniture was exceptionally bulky and difficult to maneuver, but we assure you that every effort was made to handle it with care and minimize any potential damage. We truly regret the inconvenience. Yeah, I don't like that. You know why? Because one, you not holding yourself accountable. You're not taking responsibility. What you're doing here. Let me tell you what you did wrong. What you're doing here is accepting it. You know you did it, but you're not putting forth an effort or saying anything to correct it. You're blaming it on the furniture. The furniture ain't got nothing to do with you damaging the wall. What the furniture got to do with you damaging the wall? All right, so why are you blaming it on the furniture? This is something I wouldn't have responded to. I would have handled this offline and be like, how much it cost? Or I'm gonna send a handyman out there. This ain't even patch and paint. This ain't nothing but paint. This is paint. This is a fresh coat of paint that he probably already got because he said the walls was just painted. And this right here is a little patch job and paint. You sitting up here talking about it's difficult. That's your job.
Right. So that probably wasn't the appropriate response.
It definitely wasn't appropriate. I would have never responded in this format. I would have paid him, got it rectified, and asked him if he could remove it. Because as a potential customer in the future that's looking at these reviews, you're not taking accountability.
Right. So I need to take
And
accountability from
and this
the future.
isn't this a less than $100. You can go do this yourself. Like, we sincerely apologize for the damages caused during the move. The piece of furniture was exceptionally bulky. That's why we hired you.
Right. That makes sense.
Who cares if bulky or not? What you gonna tell a customer with a sleeper sofa? Oh, it's a sleeper sofa. It's exceptionally heavy. This is why we hired you. And difficult to
That
maneuver.
was when we
This
first
is
started. I was just
no
trying
no no
to
no 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 excuses. You what you up here for? You up here to
You up
learn, right?
accountability. So
You up
the
here to,
accountability part.
you up here to learn. You up here to learn, right?
Yeah.
No, don't get upset, big dog. You want to learn or you
No,
want to get
bro, Mark,
upset?
I'm not upset, bro. I'm not. Trust me. I wouldn't come up here if I. It's what I need. It's why I'm trying to get better. So give it to me, bro. I ain't
I'm
pause,
not
but
giving
I ain't trying to.
pause. I'm
Yeah,
not giving you
pause,
nothing.
pause,
Pause.
pause.
You want to learn from the OG or what you want to do?
I ain't said nothing. I'm just nodding
All
my
right
head listening
then.
to you.
All right then.
I
All right
said I needed
then.
to take accountability for it, and I said that wasn't the right response. But I'm
Never,
letting you
never,
know,
never place the blame on the furniture. You a mover.
right?
That's what we hired you for. You got a person that's moved into a fully remodeled, full gut rehab home. They don't want to see this. They just had everything redone.
Hey,
You
you can
don't
give me 1 second. My phone about to die. I'm gonna go get the charger. Give me 1 second.
go ahead. Somebody else was in the back. You can call up because I'm finna go ahead and end this one. It's flat paint like a mug. You could look right at it. You could tell it's flat.
All right, I'm back.
So yeah, don't in future don't ever do this no more. Don't ever do this. The piece of furniture was exceptionally bulky and difficult to maneuver, but we assure you that every effort, like, nah, bro, like, no, don't do that. Can't minimize any potential damage. You made the damage already. It's done. We truly regret the inconvenience. Yeah. You should have reached out to him as soon as you saw that. If he didn't reach out to you prior, you should have reached out to him immediately and offered to rectify that situation financially. That's a cheap fix. Listen, I'd rather a person for this than a floor. This ain't nothing. That's a paint. This is new, a fresh coat of paint. That's a fresh coat of paint. And this right here, a little. This is patch and paint. A little spackle wop, paint wop. That's done. Little sand right here. Hit it with a little sand, little putty. Wop. Let it dry. Sand it. Paint it. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, boy. I would have did that on a Saturday. A Saturday morning. That's done. What we talking about?
So in the future, probably just try to keep it, between you and the customer. Reach out to them directly, and then offer to, fix your wrongdoing.
Yeah. Don't ever
Yeah,
like it, you would have been better off just ignoring it than writing what you wrote. You would have if you didn't want to hold yourself accountable, you would have been better off just not saying nothing than what you wrote.
saying that.
Because when I'm looking at you is you placing the blame on the furniture. This is what you were here for. You're here to move big bulky furniture because we don't want to do it. We can go to U-Haul, rent a truck, and do it ourselves, but we don't want to. That's why we hired you to do it. And you placing the blame on the furniture. Come on, big dog. What we talking about?
Nah, you're right. And I'm glad you telling me this because, like you said, it's moving. That was just the first, little incident that
You
had
you
happened.
you
This will
charging
happen again in
you
the future.
charging this ain't $150 an hour mistake.
Right.
$150 an hour don't do this right here, big dog. This ain't $150 an hour work right there.
So you ain't make no mistakes.
Not at $150. Listen, your price point goes up as your quality and your skill and your tenure goes up. When I was at your level, you know what I was charging? $30 an hour.
But I mean, you was also back. That was back in 2020.
Hold on. No, in 2012 we was charging 75 an hour
Okay,
for two guys. Migo and them charging 55 an hour now.
that's me going now. I'm not
Okay,
me
but
going now.
hold on. That's your competition.
Right. But you
Here's the
also getting
thing,
what you pay for.
and that ain't worth 150 an hour, big dog.
I didn't charge 150 an hour on that, but I get your point. That's not acceptable. I understand that, Mark. I completely understand.
That's not 150 an hour, and your response ain't 150 an hour. 150 an hour, man. I'm sending Migo out there to do a patch and paint. I ain't tripping on that. See, we just got 800-900. Man, I'm gonna finna send Migo some spackle at Walmart, $4-5, a putty knife, $2. The customer probably already got the paint because it was the house is he just said it, and the thing was a new rehab anyway, so he probably got leftover paint. If not, man, do a color match at Home Depot. Get a sample. Get a sample. You ain't even got to get a whole thing. Get a sample. Wop.
Nah, you are telling me the right way to go about this. I'm letting you know what my thought process was. It's not an excuse. I'm not telling you an excuse. I'm just letting you know, hey, I said that because shit. I was like, damn, we fucked up. Let me say something that sounds good. I'm letting you know I'm keeping it a buck.
I
I'm gonna
know.
keep it a buck,
Just don't do it no more. You
and I'm
hold
not.
yourself.
So I
You know
appreciate
what?
you
You know
telling me
what's
that.
G? Because now this customer, you do the right thing. The customer may call you back, even though you made a simple mistake. It's a simple mistake, but you know what? We know he'll hold himself accountable if something go wrong. So I'd rather still give him another chance because the little issue that it was the last time we used them, they made it right. So I don't have to worry about taking a chance with someone else and they not making it right.
I hear you. It's just about doing business right
Yeah.
and keeping your business. You know their what's the word reputation.
Think about your prices though, big dog. I'm finna pull somebody else up. Come back up in like March or something when moving season start. Let me know what's going on with you.
For sure, man. I appreciate it always.
Hope you learned something today.
Yeah, hey, I listen. I listen, man.
We're gonna see. Listen. I wanna see
Give me like some goals you want to see me do.
I need 100,000 by the end of September. You should easily do that.
100,000 gross.
100,000 gross by the end of September, and that's light.
I'm at 8,500 right now.
Okay. Before I got licensed, I was doing 60,000 a month.
Shit. But that's how many trucks you was running? Just one?
3.
Yeah, three. I gotta get up. So
But
like right now,
here's the thing. You can do it, but you're gonna have to work. And that 100,000, it may be a feat, but it's giving you something to work towards. Even if you don't get to it, try. That means you're gonna
nah,
have
I
to run.
like that.
You're gonna have to run 7 days a week. When March come, end of March, you need to run from March, the last week of March to the last week of September.
7 days a week, every day.
Well, you're not gonna book 7 days a week, but that last week of the
But
month and that first week of the month, them 14 days you need to be running. I wouldn't touch anything above a 1 bedroom. I do anything up to a 1 bedroom. I don't think you're ready for 2 bedroom yet, based on what I see. And I would try to knock out 3 jobs a day. On the 1st and the 31st and the 30th, 31st and 1st, at the end of the day, when you get those calls at the end of the day, yo, my movers didn't show up. My movers didn't show up. Man, then go ahead and burn that midnight oil. Charge them a premium because they desperate. They got to be out. They leases up. I had a customer, a lady, I'll never forget it. I swear to God, I tell the story all the time. She had us throw all her shit out. She called me crying. We was almost at the yard. This is before I got licensed. We was almost at the yard, and she called, and she was like crying. My movers didn't show up. They told me they were going to be late this morning. I had a 9 o'clock appointment. They told me they was going to be late. 12 o'clock, they said they was on their way. 3 o'clock, they stopped answering the phone. I've called every mover company in the city. Now I'm on Craigslist. Everybody is booked first of the month. She said, please. I turned over to Aaron. I was like, what you gonna do? He said, man, you the driver, whatever. I gave her a price. It was a little bit higher. We drove up. It was late. It was 11 o'clock when we got there. She said, look, she said, get my clothes. She picked out a few furniture pieces. She said, set everything else on the grass.
yeah,
She had to be out. She didn't have no choice. The lease was up. Like these apartments ain't like these landlords ain't turning these apartments. If your lease is up on the 31st, they already got somebody moving in on the 1st. I've done moves during the pandemic. I literally did move outs on the 1st and the new person had they moving truck downstairs waiting to come in. So the landlords ain't coming in, sweeping, cleaning, none of that shit. Like they flipping these units same day. Like back in the day where a unit they could clean it and polish the floor and clean up the shelves and all that shit. They ain't doing that no more. I been taking the last person out and the new people coming up. We coming down with the last piece. They coming up with the first piece. So you got to be gone. You got to be gone. So yeah, man, just set a goal and work towards it. Just
I
work
got you.
all summer. All right.
I'm make sure I touch on the things you talked about too, the photos and the packing and all that. I'm gonna try to get better on that. So next time we
Yeah, get
talk,
better.
show you.
Yeah, get better photos and take a picture of a full truck. Step back, take a picture of the full pack truck.
I got you, man.
All right.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, bet.